Good afternoon, Sarah. Today is January 6th. It is currently 12:13 p.m. And you know what? I have to admit, today was a very inconvenient day for me. It was really difficult for me to think of what to do for the video today because my life is incredibly boring. Apparently, I just didn't have anything. I have an entire list of things that I was supposed to get done today, and they were all cleaning. And at first I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a video of me cleaning because that's riveting, isn't it? And then as I was cleaning, I found out what I'm going to do my video about today. So if you remember, a few months ago, it was in November. That's right. It was in November. I found in my grandparents' house a helmet, and I don't know if I ever actually showed it to you, but I have it right here. So this is the helmet that I found, and it's a pretty incredible looking helmet. Very old. And at first, I remember when I first told you about it, I was like, this is definitely a like a World War I helmet. You can see there's a spike on the top and everything. It's very old looking. It's got to be a World War I helmet. So then I did some research today, and I realized that it's actually not a World War I helmet, or at least I don't think it is. And the main thing is this eagle right here. Now it's very rusted. It's going to be very hard to see, but there is an FR right here, and then there's writing that goes across here and across the wings of the eagle. And it took a little bit to read what it says, but I found out that it says, I'll do it in my best German accent. It says "Mit Gott für König und Vaterland," which means with God for king and fatherland. Very German, isn't it? It's an eagle. It's got a crown on it. There's an FR on the front, which I'm not exactly sure what that means. So then I did some research, and I tried to find out what what date this would be. And I found out that I think this might be a helmet from around 1860 to like in that general vicinity of dates, give or take maybe 20 years or something. And the reason why is I was able to find helmets that kind of look like that, and maybe I'll put one in the video. I don't know, but they all have these spikes on it. They have the eagle that looks exactly the same. It was actually what probably was a strap right here that went across to the other side. But this is a surprisingly smaller helmet compared to the other ones, and it's also made of leather, while some of the others, I think, I at least think this was leather, while some of the other ones were made of like metal and stuff like that. So I don't know the context of that, and I'm gonna have to keep researching. But then I was like, now wait a second, who in my family would this be of? It couldn't be, my grandfather's or his father or something like that. That's too. They lived too late in life. It was 1900s. It wouldn't be 1860 or something like that. And then I was like, well, who in my family was actually from Germany? And then my mother, my gracious mother, showed me this book. It's a genealogy book that my grandparents, or my grandpa, had been working on with his brother. So I wanted to take you through this genealogy here, so we can kind of do some research and find out who's the person who may have had this helmet and how in the world my family kept it for so long. So let's talk about my grandpa. My grandpa's name was Wayne. Okay, Norman Wayne. Now Wayne had a father, Fred. Fred had parents, Albert and Emma. They were all from America, simple done, but they had parents who were from Germany. And those people were specifically from an area called Mecklenburg-Schwerin, and I'm going to show you that in a second. And one of these parents, Friedrich, was from Mecklenburg-Schwerin, and he was born in 1859. Maybe in the area of 1860. So either him or his parent probably owned this helmet, which is amazing, considering this helmet is over 150 years old. And it's crazy having a piece of history right here. I mean, I don't know. This could be later. This could be earlier than that. It could not even be from any of these people. But at least I know a general vicinity of where this is from, and I get to learn a little bit more about my family. I also wanted to know what generation American I am. We can just count backwards. So Frederick, who was originally from Mecklenburg, emigrated to the United States. So he would not be any generation American, even though he ended up getting his citizenship. But his daughter, Emma, would be first generation American. And then she had a son, Fred, who is second generation American. So my grandfather would be third generation American. My mother would be fourth generation, and I am fifth generation American. My family has been around in America with citizenship because of birth for 5 generations. Another crazy thing about all of this is the fact that I am playing a video game right now, and I know you'll make fun of me because, like, nerd. I'm playing a video game where I'm playing as Germany, and I know all these territories because I'm playing this game, and then I realize, oh my gosh, these territories that I'm literally playing a video game about in the same time period is the same areas that my ancestors lived in. Crazy. So let me show you the map. So here you'll see a map of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, which is the exact area that my ancestors were from. It's actually called the Grand Duchy. They would have had allegiance to the Emperor of Germany, and heck, maybe even at that time, if Germany hadn't been formed, they would have been part of a city-state or something like that. Pretty darn cool. I'm not exactly sure where specifically in this area they're from. I'll have to look more into that. But after that, I'll show you what a map of Germany today. This is a map of Germany today, and you can see up in the top right a little city called Schwerin. That area is known as Mecklenburg-Schwerin, and that is where my ancestors were from, northern Germany. Amazing. So I hope you enjoyed that very much because I found that very, very interesting. Also, I wanted to make one correction from your video yesterday. You were very confused about what camera is called what. On a phone, the front-facing camera is called the front-facing camera. Back-facing camera is called the back-facing camera. Just so you know. So, I mean, I know it's weird because there's 2 cameras in the front, but I completely agree with you. Mirror selfies? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways, I love you very much, and I will see you tomorrow.